Yo, what is going on, my fellow human beings? My name is Wacky and welcome back to a brand spanking new video on my channel where I will be showing you how to make the simplest wither rose farm in today's tutorial. And yes, is actually going to be a tutorial. I'm going to be showing you how to build this monstrosity of a thing that I actually built in my mushroom only biome hardcore world. So if you haven't seen that, please go check that out. Link will be down in the description. And let's get to building this easy thing that can produce you up to 14,000 wither roses per hour. Let's get to it. Okay, so first of all, you're gonna have to make a new world, obviously, and then when you spawn in and finally play the game, the first thing that you will need to do is actually go ahead and find the stronghold. So if you don't know how to find the stronghold, well, you're not in luck, but also you're in luck. You need to get yourself some ender pearls and also need to grab yourself some blaze rods and turn them into blaze powder, get some eye of enders, and then you will need to throw them until you finally found where it's going down into the ground. Dig down like I am doing here. I am in creative mode, of course, until you find the strongholds and made that advancement I spy. So now we've done this, you will have to do the hardest part of this tutorial, and that is actually finding the portal that goes to the end. Hello zombie. And then you will have to fill in the portal and then go into the end. And okay, once you finally found the portal, as I said, you need to fill in the ender pearls, well, the eye of enders, pardon me, and then you will have to go through. And then the first thing that you will need to do is actually get onto the island, which is not the hardest part. And then you will have to destroy all of the end crystals, and that means that the dragon won't regenerate any more health, and then you can finally defeat the dragon. After you have killed the dragon, there will spawn a portal which will light up in the sky with a nice and purple beam, which you can then go to, and then you can explore the rest of the end. So once you are through to the other side and you found a portal where you want to build it, I'm just going to use the portal that I spawned out of. You want to build 3 temporary blocks above the portal and 3 temporary blocks below the portal. The last block needs to be a dirt block because you are going to spawn, well, I said spawn, but grow a mushroom so you can get rid of the portal block, because that is where the wither will be spawned in. So then you can get rid of the mushroom block like I am doing so, and then we can finally actually start with the building process. So remove all of your temporary blocks. You don't need to remove the below ones because you're still going to use them. And then you want to extend those temporary blocks out by 5, and then grab your building blocks of any type and make a little cross like I am doing here. Then you want to extend that cross, place your enchanting table because it has a certain height level, and then also I was just putting on temporary blocks, thinking ahead. You want to put temporary blocks all over this little cross that you made, and because you are going to grab your eggs, I'm just gonna grab a spawn egg because my eggs didn't work actually, and then you want to get a chicken in there. Now do note, if you do get a baby chicken in there, you will have to wait for it to grow up before you summon the wither. So I'll remind you further along the video, but that is what you will be doing. Now after you have finally gotten a chicken, which I didn't, you are gonna place a slab on top of the chicken. Make sure it's on the lower block of the temporary blocks, and then remove the backside temporary blocks. Leave the block on top of the enchanting table because that is gonna make sure that your chicken doesn't die when you summon the wither. Then next, you want to build an L shape in the opposite direction below the bedrock, like I am doing so, because this is where your storage system will be going, your collection system. Place the chest onto the last block and then place a hopper closest to the bedrock, and then you have your storage system. You want to place temporary blocks alongside the hopper, and then you want to build up 44 blocks to make sure that the enderman will take enough fall damage that the wither can literally just one-shot them and ramp in those wither roses. So a cool trick that I like to do is actually count out the blocks in your inventory beforehand, and then you build up, and that means you don't have to count blocks like I am doing, well, should be doing if I was in creative mode. That's why I switched over to survival mode. Oh my goodness, the things I do for you. Anyways, so this is the easiest way you can start building block and count them. Just FYI, if you do like this tip, make sure that you like the video and also subscribe. And then if you feel like it, make sure you ring the notification bell. So let's crack on to the next step. You want to build this very long tunnel. So it's gonna be extended 44 blocks up. And then after you've built your 44 blocks up tunnel, make sure that it's a tunnel. You want to extend each of the cross corners by 12. I'm doing this tip once again, count out 12 blocks and then just build it and extend it in all of the crosses ways. Then after you've done that, make sure that you connect it, because you are going to build a platform, and then you are going to fill in that platform, and that is the platform where the enemy will be spawned on. And then after you have built the platform, you will have to summon the endermite, the most dangerous mob in hardcore Minecraft, and I will show you why. Okay, so I'm here just quickly name tagging, making a name for the endermite. Make sure you grab a name tag before you go here, otherwise you need to go all the way back. Make sure that you name that endermite. It doesn't have to name subscribe, but it's just there so that you get reminded to subscribe to me, because I am bringing out the finest quality of content. After you've got your name tag, then you want to build up a structure like so, with temporary blocks at the bottom, and then your building blocks, and then you extend it by 3 and place an iron bar on the top. Then you can remove these temporary blocks, because you won't be needing them, and you want to build more temporary blocks around the iron bar, because that is what you will be needing to actually summon / spawn the endermite. So you kind of want to make a cage around it. Make sure that it's 2 blocks wide and then 2 blocks tall, to make sure that the endermite can't escape, because they actually can jump 1 block high. Place down your rail, and then you are going to start spamming ender pearls. Like I'm doing here, I'm quickly going in survival mode for you guys to show you that it is actually possible to do it in survival mode. It did take me quite a long time, I don't know why, and I also did it with iron armor, which I do not recommend, but it's just to show you guys it can be done. So you want to throw a bunch of ender pearls until you actually get an endermite. Make sure that you plop the name tag on the endermite before you actually try to get it into the minecart. And then when your endermite is named, you want to push the minecart into the endermite until the endermite actually gets into the minecart. Make sure that you push the minecart all the way on top of the iron bars, otherwise it will become a very messy thing with all the endermans that gets to your endermite, and then your farm breaks. So that is the endermite part done. After you've actually got an endermite, make sure that you named it and that it's in the minecart itself. You want to remove all of the temporary blocks, and then grab yourself some carpets. It could be any carpets, and make sure that you place 2 layers of carpets on all of the building blocks that you don't want endermans to spawn on, like I am doing here. Then next, what you want to do is grab a trapdoor, because the enderman will see it as a block and then fall to their dooms. You want to place a trapdoor on the below block and on the top block. Sorry, I am speaking very fast here, and that's why I'm struggling to get the words out. But anyways, after you've done that, so that basically means that you have an ender farm working, a working ender farm. Then you want to grab your blocks, count out 84, and then go 84 blocks up top. Now this will be where you will be standing when AFKing. So the farm works while you can just literally sleep overnight, and you will have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of wither roses, which I don't know what you will be needing that for, maybe to prank your friends or something. But after you've reached your 84 blocks, make sure that you build your little platform. I'm just gonna make mine out of glass because it looks nicer. And then if you are in survival mode and you also don't have a way to get up there like an elytra, then you can also leave that block there with ladders. Make sure that you do spawn proof the top block, otherwise you can have bad news happening to you at the top of your AFK platform. Now let's set up the wither killing chamber. So you want to place an enchantment table on top of the hopper in your tunnel. So it's just because enchantment table has a different height, but you also want to cover up the enchantment table to make sure that the wither doesn't destroy it. So after you've covered that up, make sure that you make your tunnel, and then just make sure that it's nice and clean and that there is no way of the enderman getting out. That's why I placed those blocks there. Then next you want to grab yourselves a water bucket. Also grab yourselves a empty bucket, because you will be needing that to summon the wither. And if you didn't know, if you place water onto an explosion in Minecraft, it actually doesn't get rid of any blocks, and the wither, when you summon it, it has an explosion stage that happens if you summon it. So after you have gathered everything that you need, make sure that you place a temporary block directly below the bedrock, and then place a wall underneath that block onto that block. Remove the temporary block, and then comes the tricky, scary part. If you do this incorrectly, your whole farm will broke, and you will also have to deal with a free wither in the end, where there is a lot of void. After you have made the pillar or the wall, make sure that you place the T shape to summon the wither. Make sure that your chicken is fully grown. There's that reminder. And then make sure that you don't remove that block. Summon the wither, and then just before it explodes, just make sure that you place water on top of it, like in the middle of the bedrock, like I am doing here. And then you don't have to get, I think you do have to remove the water. I'm not sure, need to go check that out. But then you want to remove the building block that was on top of the enchant table. That means the wither will lock onto the chicken. In my case, I didn't spawn proof this platform, so it was kind of a mess, but my farm didn't break. So that's just to show you it's not the end of the world. But do make sure your chicken is fully grown and that everything is spawn proof. And it's the easiest way to spawn proof, because you can just place a bunch of water. Okie dokie, that is going to be the end of this video slash tutorial. If it did help you and you did end up enjoying it, please make sure that you smash that like button. And also, if you want to see more of this content and helps you out and that is entertaining, make sure that the subscribe button is not red. If it is red, give it a whack, and then also ring the notification bell. Same, I'm going to do that as well, to make sure you get notified on all of the videos that I do upload, because it helps you out sometimes, slash all the times, 90%, 0.9% of the time. My brain's not functioning anymore, guys. So if you did enjoy it, make sure you do that, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.